Buenos días, bonjour, ohayo gozaimasu. Es lunes, nous sommes lundi, getsuyobi desu yo. It's time for Metacognition Monday, where I teach you how your brain works, and you can apply this not only to my class, but to all your classes. Today we're going to talk about note taking, and specifically I want to teach you how to sketch note, because I'm noticing in my classes that as you're taking notes, it's not very good, and I have to remind you to take notes. So, sketch notes, look at it, sketch and notes, okay? I found this guide to visual note taking. Let me remind you that memory is visual and spatial, okay? And that's why this technique is going to help us a lot out here in the linguistics world, because we've got to memorize stuff. Remember, memory is the foundation of Bloom's taxonomy, okay? So if you remember that memory is visual and spatial, you're going to make a lot of at least shapes and at least think about where things are located on your paper. Okay, you don't have to be a good artist. You know me, you've seen my artwork. Okay, I'm the woman who loves to read comic books and watch cartoons, and I don't know how to draw worth diddly squat. So, visual cues are going to help your memory. Your brain stays active and engaged while you're doing this. You're able to create connections better because of the way you lay things out on the paper, and then you can develop ideas between those connections, and your notes are going to be easier for you to figure out. I wrote parse there. That's a complicated word. Okay, so first of all, number one is pay attention, obviously, okay? Things that get repeated are probably important, right? Repetition is the key to success. So when you hear me say something more than once, or any of your teachers, write it down. You don't have to write down everything. This is the number one problem that I have with my summer school students when they take health, because I teach health over the summer school, and a lot of students are taking health because they just want to fit in orchestra or another math class or another science class or whatever during the school year, so they take health to get it out of the way, okay? And they want to write down every little thing, and they tell me, oh, my parents look at my notebook, and if I don't have everything written down, they get mad at me. I'm telling you right now, stop that. Don't write down everything. It's a waste of your time. You're not going to remember everything. You're not going to know what to focus on, okay? Just focus deeply on the main point. That's when I started giving this lectures, because of my summer school students, okay? Make sure you can read your own handwriting, okay? Nobody else has to be able to read it. If you look at my notes, you see that I flip back and forth between 4 or 5 languages, whatever is easiest coming out of me at that moment. All right? It doesn't matter if you can't read my notes, as long as I can read my notes. Okay? But if I come back to it later and I'm like, what the heck did I write here? That's a problem. Okay, so let me teach you how to make the emphasis text. You're going to write a word down, and then you're suddenly going to realize, that's an important word. There's a lot of things you can do. You can shade the word. You can draw block letters around it. You can color it in. You can just make it like really thick. You can write the word tall. You can write in cursive if you know cursive. I saw somebody writing cursive as I was walking down the hallway the other day, and I was like, yay for you. You can make it all bubble letters. You can make it really exciting. Whatever different writing style you feel like. And it's good if it kind of jogs your memory to think about what you're working on, Doesn't have to, but it's good. Okay, so there's also easy shapes you can do. So my first suggestion is, instead of bullet points, use a shape, okay? You can draw shapes around things too. So you've written something, you're like, oh wait, that's important. Draw a square around it, draw a circle around it, draw an oval around it. Make your Venn diagrams, make it 3D, it's okay. When you get really good at this and you really glom onto it, then you start automatically saying, okay, well, all dates, I'm going to draw a box around it, and I'm going to kind of make the box look like a calendar, okay? That way, as you're just kind of glancing over your notes, you're like, oh, there's a calendar there, that's a date, and you don't even have to think about it, okay? Oh, this is a thought I had, or this is a thought that the teacher had. Draw a little thought bubble, okay? Oh, this is what Albert Einstein said. Well, draw a speech bubble, like in a comic book, okay? And that way, as you're looking over your notes, you don't have to think hard about, wait, what was the context of this? Containers are more complex shapes, okay? So you can draw fluffy clouds or thought balloons. Here's a speech bubble. Here's a big banner if you want to say, this is the big topic. Here's a frame. You want to say, oh, this is something that's worth gazing at for a while and contemplating, whatever you want to do, okay? So connectors, okay, you start writing something on the left-hand side of the page, and you're like, wait, I think it goes with this idea over here. Well, you can draw dashed lines, you can draw dotted lines, you can draw like a little, I don't know, we do Minecraft a lot in class. Draw a little redstone, okay? You could draw an actual arrow. You can draw arrows like on the highway, like that. It's always looked like cool to me. Big bold arrow. Here's a road, a river, whatever you like connecting things together. All right, and Jet Pens, where I got this from, suggest keeping your icons simple. Now, I automatically keep my icons simple because, you know me, I don't draw so well, okay? But those of you really wonderful artists out there, I know that you could spend 6 hours drawing a person. Don't do it. Just do stick figures, do very, very simple things because you're drawing fast while you're focusing on connecting the ideas together, okay? So don't go over the top. Okay, so as you're in class, you do just the general, you've taken your notes, you've just jotted things down. After class, you're like, oh, golly, that's ugly. Now, you remember I said if you just copy your notes over one time, that's studying, and then you probably don't have to study again. And I told you about my worst class ever, my most difficult class ever, where all we would do is we would get together and copy each other's notes down, and we all had A pluses. Okay? So same thing here. You can neaten it up after the fact. Okay? If you like to draw in pen, that's fine, draw in pen. But if you've drawn in pencil, you can erase and neaten it up. You can copy it over. You're sketching. It doesn't take that long, and it's kind of fun, and it's very zen, right? So just copy it over more neatly, or at least clean up the lines you didn't need, or clean up your thoughts, okay? Or at this point, you can add detail. Oh, I drew a stick figure here. I want to make it look like Albert Einstein. Make it look like Albert Einstein at that point, okay? All right, and then this was his example at Jet Pens. His name is David Foster Wallace. If I remember, I'll put a link there. But make sure you're sketchnoting, okay? So whatever the next thing I give you, next video I give you in Microsoft Teams, practice sketchnoting, okay? I'm going to teach you a different note-taking technique next week. Well, we've already been doing the note-taking technique, but next week I'm going to show you explicitly why it works, okay? All right, see you there.